So I am so excited because we have a very special guest speaker on our call today. But before I announce her, just some quick announcements. Like I always start, I want to thank all of you guys for coming on tonight. I know that this is usually a time for your family, for your friends, just to wind down from a busy, hectic day. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule for your business. Obviously, these calls are here to help you see a community, to give you tips, for you to hear other stories from other successful coaches in the network. And so I'm super excited. This is also the last week of the month. So if you're pushing for Success Club, everyone needs to be pushing. We have awesome challenge packs on sale. There's still a couple days left. Make sure that you are following up the wazoo, like I tell you guys. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Super important that you guys are following up with people so that you can hit the goals that you're setting for yourself. Also, for those of you who are still on the wait list for Summit, I'm hearing some good news that a lot of people are going to be getting off, if not everyone, but I'm not going to say everyone until it actually happens. I won't say that. But, make sure that you're checking your emails and that you are getting, if you do get a ticket, and if you do get a ticket and you don't want to go, please let me or your sponsor coach know so that we can get someone on our team to buy the ticket. There is someone, and trust me, there are people who want to go on our team who cannot go. So if you do get off the wait list and you cannot go, let us know. Do not just, abandon that ticket. We will buy it from you and we will give it to someone who can go. Not, I'm sure you want to go, but maybe there's some reason you can't go. But yeah, so I'm super excited. We have over 30 coaches going to Summit. It's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy, and it's going to be insane. So many people. It's going to be crazy, crazy, crazy. But I'm really, really excited, and I know that everyone going. It's just really going to take their business to the next level, just kind of feeling that energy of being around other coaches and just connecting and bonding. It's really a great connecting and bonding with your team, but also to feel the energy and to realize you're going to be surrounded by 20,000 coaches. And so knowing that you are not alone in this business, and, even though you're working at it in your home at home, you're not alone. We are a force to be reckoned with when we're all together. So just kind of, keeping that in mind. And for those who are getting ready to go, it's going to be amazing. So I had come across Caroline across her social media, and I was just like, who is this girl who is always smiling? And, and that's honestly something that really drew me to her, is that she always has a smile. And I appreciate that. And, I appreciate that, in someone. I'm sure she has lots of people who come up to her and just like, I really like that you post, that you smile a lot, and I know I've gotten that in the past just from smiling. So I definitely know that she probably gets that. But what I love about Caroline is that she has a great story, and she is very authentic in how she shares herself. If you were to look at her Instagram, she grows more on Instagram, I think. But if you were to look at her Instagram, you'll see that she's herself. She doesn't try to, hide away from who she is. She doesn't try to be someone that she's not. And I can really respect that, because, like I've told you guys, and like the fellow leaders on this call have told you guys, being yourself is what matters, and you're going to attract the tribe that's out there for you. Every one of us has a tribe out there for us. And if we're not sharing ourselves authentically, they're never going to find us. And so Caroline, she's 26 years old. She is a full-time production coordinator for NBC Sports. Pretty cool, pretty awesome, pretty accomplished for her age. And even more amazing, she is a 2-star Diamond 2015 Premier Coach. She's a Success Club 10 All-Star, and she's currently ranked number 18 in the company, guys. That is impressive. 18 is impressive. Those of us who know what it means to accomplish that is impressive to us. And so that means that she is a leader in her team. That means that she is helping other people lead well and helping other people hit Success Club and help other people, change other people's lives. She signed up as a coach in January of 2014. So not too long ago, and she was initially a discount coach, but didn't really start working it until November of 2014. So that is even more impressive, that really she started building her business in November of 2014, and everything that she's been able to accomplish. I'm sure last year was a big push year for her, and she's reaping the benefits of that hard work as she continues to work hard. She is originally from Bethesda, I think I said that right, Maryland, and she now lives here in Orlando, where I'm at. So I know we're trying to set up a time so me and her can meet in person and just kind of powwow. Well, Caroline, I'm going to give my team over to you. I know they're looking forward. I'm going to mute myself and you go right ahead.
Perfect. All right, I'm going to share my screen and do present mode. All right, perfect. So I wanted to start, just tab it into my story that if you don't follow me or don't know me at all, you wouldn't know. I used to be very sick. I know a lot of us, before we started coaching, had sicknesses and stuff. I used to be very, very sick. And then in October of 2013, I ended up in the ER of Florida Hospital with viral meningitis and mono at the same time. And I was very, very sick. And before they figured out what was wrong, I had people hearing that I was in the hospital and texting me and calling me, and all these things I was getting were apologies. I'm sorry we fought in college like 3 years prior. I'm sorry that we fought over that golf match, over that boy, over that mixer, all these stupid things from college. But I realized while lying in the hospital bed, I was getting all these apologies and all these things like I'm sorry, and the doctors were telling me I need to get more healthy, and that's a two-way street. I was being really negative, and I realized I needed to change. So doctors told me I needed to get healthy. One of my coworkers was drinking Shakeology at full price from a random coach in Orlando. And so I bought it off of eBay, and I bought a program off of Amazon. I was one of those people. And I made an Instagram to start sharing my journey, and I literally only hashtag weight loss journey. So I still invite from that hashtag. And my coach just randomly found me on Instagram and introduced the discount opportunity to me. And I signed up because I was paying more on eBay when I thought I was getting a discount. And I signed up, and 21 Day Fix came out like 2 weeks later. And so I signed up a bunch of my friends, but I really wasn't like trying to coach. So I inadvertently hit Success Club. And so then people were like, oh, you should coach. And I really I wasn't really into it. And I canceled on my coach a bunch of times on calls. I was one of those people that like canceled like 5 minutes before. I didn't get on a team call until November of 2014. I wasn't a success starter. I didn't do coach basics. I was that coach that everyone doesn't like to deal with. I was that person. I had signed my cancellation forms in late September 2014. And I was just getting lazy about having to submit it. If that online form that's available now was available then, I probably would have quit in a day. But I had signed them, and my upline coach had called me the same day I signed them to ask me why I wasn't going to the team retreat in Florida, since I live in Florida. And I made a bunch of excuses. I hadn't been to Super Saturdays. I had not been to any kind of live event. And he was like, and I was like, well, I don't have vacation. He was like, well, there's the weekend. So I went for the weekend, and that live event changed everything for me. And I realized I'm a really busy person. I think we're all really busy. And I was like, if I have just a little bit of time, I'm either going all in or I might as well stop completely. And I saw all these people that were just like me, some of them busier than me, single moms, people full time, whatever it was. And I was like, I want to really try this. And that was the October 30th, 2014. So November 2014, I went all in, and I've hit Success Club 10 plus every month since then. And I've really changed in the past, probably we're in April. So April, March, February. So about 5 months, I've changed how I'm posting. So that's what I want to talk about. And not to say how I was posting before wasn't successful, because obviously I was hitting Success Club and I was signing coaches, but it's drastically changed. I just wanted to say, I averaged 3 coaches a month in 2015 to this year. So far, I've averaged 21 coaches a month. I had 0 2015 success starters, and I've had 7 2016 coaches so far become success starters. My Success Club base in 2015 was 2, and it's 13 this year. And in December of 2015, I was ranked in the 700s. So, and now I'm ranked 18. So I just wanted to say that the way that I've changed my posts and what I'm going to talk about is completely changed my business. And it's really all around being very authentic. So I'll get into the different ways that I do that. Social media methods. I post on Instagram about 1 to 3 times a day and use the full 30 hashtags. My personal page 3 to 4 times a day. My like page 1 time a day. Honestly, I'm not a huge like page person, but I put it in my calendar. Otherwise, I would completely forget to do it. Snapchat, I add to my story 3 times a day. If you're really busy, I've found a lot of people that I'd already talked to and I was already friends with. After seeing my Snapchats of me like running through the airport with my shake, or like moments like that where I'm really busy, but I'm still getting my workout in the hotel room, they may not necessarily see it on Facebook, but they're now seeing it on Snapchat. So I've had several people this year join my team from Snapchat who I previously talked about, but all commented to me that they didn't realize how busy I was until they saw it on Snapchat. Pinterest, Twitter, and Periscope, I don't use them. I don't honestly understand how to Twitter, tweet, whatever the heck it's called. And Periscope I haven't figured out, but I signed up and I own my handle on them, like Why Are You Smiling? Is my Instagram name, and it's my email and all these different things consistent. So I signed up to own that handle, but I don't actually use them. Okay, so raw, authentic posts. I often think to myself, what am I most embarrassed to admit, talk about, tell my best friend, and that's what I post. We all have those moments, probably several times a week. And that's what I post about. And I can't even tell you the amount of people who message me every single time I post one. And they may not even comment. Like this had 253 likes and 53 comments. But blown away by the amount of messages I had. And all I was talking about is how I asked someone out and I was shot down. But we've all had that moment at some point, whether if we're happily married now, when we were 13 years old. Everyone can relate to that kind of post. And so I had so many people tell me they felt like they knew me from this post. And you can tell I said, so I totally with like 7 L's and then totally again with like 5 L's. Like this is how I would have texted my best friend to tell her. So this is how I'm speaking to social media because that's who I'm speaking to. I used to last year try to speak to everybody because I was too afraid that I would miss someone. And then I realized who I'm missing is just not my market of people. So I use words like so, oh my God, totally, like words that I actually use in conversation. And it's unbelievable. Every single time I do one of these, I get crazy amount of messages. A couple more examples on the left. This was something I talked about last week, and we all have that one thing we don't talk about, and this is mine. And so there's a lot of things I don't talk about, but this was the one in particular. And I had so many people tell me that they saw I got my period very early in life and they almost didn't want to read more, but they saw the beginning. We all had the one thing we don't talk about, and that made them read more. And this was a very long post about the fact that I may not be able to have children and all my medical history and all this stuff. But I got so many messages of people who have had miscarriages who've never shared about it. And things like that. And this connected me to a whole new group of people, not just 20-something girls that like Gilmore Girls, like on the right. But there's so many people. I mean, I got like 50 messages from people related to this post that didn't like or comment it. This post was actually a pretty low liked post, but I think it was because all those people obviously didn't want to like comment like I just had a miscarriage or like I'm going through the same thing. It's a very private thing. But many, many people messaged me about it, and we've had conversations since. On the right, just another thing that I very opened up about, and I had talked briefly on social media, but I had earlier in life attempted suicide, and this post went into that ordeal a lot through it, and I ended the night watching Gilmore Girls. But just a very deep, emotional post, 400 likes on the Instagram thing, tons of friend requests from this post. I know it's hard to press post on those kind of posts, but every time on Instagram, I get a ton of friend requests and ton of messages on Facebook. It's insane when you're that raw and authentic about your life. Same kind of thing, sharing struggles in a positive way. I won't ever share something negative if I can't turn it into a positive. And that's just truthfully how I am after that whole thing in October of 2013 of buying in the hospital bed. Every time I catch myself, we all do it, I catch myself complaining or like getting upset, I backtrack and I'm like, I'm not in a hospital bed, so stop complaining. But I will never share something negative for my branding and for my own life. Like, I'm not trying to be negative. Anytime I see something negative on my own newsfeed, I don't even look at who it is. I just hit unfollow. I don't want to see it. So on the left, I'm sharing that I was struggling, but I also turned it into a positive. I have this thing called the smile rule, where I will force myself to smile all day long if I'm in a bad mood. So that was on the left. And on the right, I was dealing with this girl who was hating on me for something ridiculous. It was like someone jealous of coaching, basically. And she made a fake Facebook for her cat to message me and harass me. And I was at the New Leader Conference, actually, and I was getting all these messages from this cat's account. And I was like, why is people doing this to me? And then I was like, Taylor Swift has like millions and billions of haters, and she's killing it. So then I realized, like, I was thinking that in my brain. I was like, post about that, because other people have haters for something. And so many people are messaging me being like, that's a great way to look at it. Thank you so much. So I'm sure we all do the same thing. We listen to PD, maybe, like, share that, like, share your struggles, but share how you're coping with it in a positive way. Drip coaching in a post. I rarely do call to actions now. I do it once a week. But before, I would either only do once a week, or I would do it like multiple times, but continue to be like really like 3 people to join my team, 5 people to join my team. These are constant drip into coaching posts. So on the left is actually something I did tonight. One of my really good friends, Erica, and I are like literally twins, and we met on Instagram. And so I said something, she had texted me, are you ever going to listen to me? And then I said, probably, with my 5 whys. Probably not, but thankful I got her in my life anyways. Did you know we've been on Instagram as a result of this coaching thing? Because people call it a thing all the time. Pretty cool impact from coaching, if you ask me. That was just, I literally got a text from her. We were talking about a boy that I like. And I turned it into a post about coaching. And that was tonight. I already got 2 people messaging me being like, wait, you really met Erica on Instagram? Because I talk about her all the time. She's one of my really good friends. But I already had 2 people message me, and that post happened at 6 p.m. The middle post is just building my empire on the couch tonight, just missing some Moscato and a cute boy. My laptop is clearly in the picture. It's clearly a coaching post. I post enough about it. So just dripping in coach life, my face in it. On the right, I just have no words to describe how much I love my life. Again, my planner's on the floor. I'm sitting on the floor. I'm sitting on the floor right now. I work my best from the floor. And I've said that in various posts, and people have always been like, oh, you don't really work from the floor. And so that day someone had said that to me, and I was like, I'm on the floor now. Let me take a picture. So just another way of dripping in there. And I'm sure we have all moments where we're sitting on our laptop and someone messages you, or a coach says something to you. Or I think we all have those moments where, like, wow, I really love this. Like, that can be a post. You move your laptop closer to you. Like, sorry, I'm doing this, but you move your laptop closer to you, and you take a selfie, and you make sure you get the laptop in the picture, and you just say, I just had this moment where I realized I absolutely love my life. And that's just like a dripping into coaching post. A few more on the left, another post about Erica. So people hear about Erica constantly, but she's a rock star on my team. She signed up like 3 months ago, and she's killing it. And I like put in the 555 day, which is something I do in my challenge groups. People always ask what the heck 555 is. They always ask, are you really, really good friends with Erica? So just more like dripping in coaching and how much I love coaching. And also the 555. If you guys don't use it, it's rate your nutrition 1 to 5, positivity 1 to 5, and workout 1 to 5 in our challenge groups. So I just refer to my days as 555 days. And people never fails, either messages me or comments every single post and asks what it is. The middle post is, I can't imagine spending my Saturday any other way. Huge shout out to my coach, whose birthday is today. Laptop in the park. I rarely leave my apartment because I have ADHD. Like, I will go crazy elsewhere. But if I go elsewhere, I will take a picture of it, just to be a little bit different. But again, my laptop's there. I'm happy. I'm smiling. It's not just a picture of my like stuff. they're really connecting with me being in the picture. On the right, I was hungover. There's like 5 W's there. But chatting with my besties, my laptop, just more like connecting with people, being raw and real about how I'm working. But I'm like, clearly you don't need to be like, I mean, I'm in a dress now, but you don't need to be in a dress and like perfect and like I have mascara on my eyes, like just being very real about how I'm coaching. Your body is your business. We heard this at National New Leader Conference, and I like really stuck with me. So be real, share your journey, share that your product is a product. And on the left is when I actually came back from New Leader Conference, and it said, this is Caroline. She ate like crap for 8 days, only worked out twice. But since she eats cleanish 95% of the time, after 24 hours of fueling her body properly, she lost a bloat and gained her energy back. Be like Caroline. Clearly that could have been like a 21-day picture. It truly was 24 hours after I got back from eating like crap for 2 weeks. But I had so many people message me and be like, oh my goodness, like you can go back and go, like start right away like that and get results right back. So while yes, it was hard to admit that I had fallen off, if you follow the 21-day fix, you know it's so easy to get back on. So share that. Like you go on vacation, you come back, share that it's so easy to get back on. I used to share like the day I got back and be like, I need people to help me, which I still do some of, but I like now show a couple days in, like show like one day in, like, look, it's so easy. Like look at me getting back on track. Now join me. On the right, I'm always early unless I'm taking selfies. Like we all take selfies. I literally do spend like 12 minutes taking selfies, and I was very honest about that. And I had so many people message me from that post being like, oh my God, you're the first person who actually admits that. That's awesome. So just more like forming publicly so that privately when I message people, they feel like they already know me. And it really is a time saver, honestly, cutting out like that conversation, because these people truly feel like they know me from my social media. Just more bodies your business. Share posts will get people talking. I did hammer and chisel build plan for all of like 5 days before I couldn't do the food. But on the left, it said, hi, my name is Caroline Nathan, and I eat 42 bell peppers a week. How many do you eat? That's on the build plan for it. I still eat 21 bell peppers a week because it's the only green I usually have. But that got so many comments and people messaging me, and people still are like remembering all those bell peppers. And I'm known for eating a lot of bell peppers. I eat them like an apple. But that post got people crazy talking and wondering what the heck I was doing. I sold so many hammer and chisel challenge packs just from people wanting to know why I was eating so many bell peppers, and then getting into the conversation about the program I was doing. The middle is an album, and I do an album every program I do. I highly recommend it if you're busy and want to be able to easily check who's liking your posts. So every day I do this little like recap, like day 6 recap: nutrition, the 5 thing, workout, positivity, superfoods, boost, performance line, water, sleep, notes. And I do it every single day for the day before. And again, never fails. People always ask at least one question, or someone will message me being like, what's this boost you're talking about? Or like energize, where I had someone went to GNC trying to find the performance line and was like, was taking pictures at GNC and was like, I don't understand. I can't find what you post about. So people pay attention. They may just not like or comment, but having it all in an album makes my life so much easier, because I go back the day before. So today's Tuesday. I went to Monday's likes and messaged all those people who liked my posts. But like we go on vacation, things happen, emergencies happen, and it's so hard to scroll past posts in the past. But by keeping it in an album, if I went on vacation a long day weekend, I can easily go back to Thursday by scrolling in the album versus scrolling back. It just makes my life easier. It also, I find people, I'll wake up on the weekend where they're going through and liking all the pictures in the album. So they found the most recent, and then they found this album where I have weekly pictures, and it just makes it easier for me, and more people see my like beginning pictures, and they see that I've been doing it every single day when it's in an album. So that really helps me as well. Screenshots. I used to be the queen of screenshotting when people would say something and just posting the screenshot. all the time, all the time. And now I really use the text of the screenshot, and then I put it in a picture caption or whatever with me smiling, or a picture of me or whatever it is. So on the left, I texted my nephew to say happy birthday, and he said love you, and he's like 13, and I was like, oh my God, this is so crazy that he still says love you. Instead of just doing the screenshot and posting it and like no one really would know or care what I'm saying, I made this whole little story about how I was like so happy that he said that, and I was like so surprised. And again, more connection to people that I hadn't before, that have nieces and nephews that like understand what I was saying, versus just like a screenshot, like who the heck is Ben? Like people are just gonna keep on scrolling. On the right, an example, when people text me or message me like, thank you so much for your help or whatever, I have this ongoing notepad where I just paste it in the notepad so that anytime I'm like struggling with something to post, I'll just go to that notepad and like each time I post it, delete it, but I'll just put it in quotes, and say like, here, thank you so much for being an inspiration. You really are an amazing person, blah, blah, blah. Like little does she know we travel together so much, best life ever. But if I'm ever stuck, I can just go to the notepad and grab what someone's told me and make that a post versus just another screenshot. I'm sure you guys see screenshots all day long in your newsfeed. It means so much more when people see you with it. I used to think like people are going to think I'm lying if I don't have the screenshot. No one's ever said that to me. And I don't think people think that. I think I was just like anxious. But with that said, screenshots that do work, if you date like me, if you don't date, then don't go on Tinder or Bumble. But I'm on Tinder and Bumble, and those screenshots are like hilarious and get tons of interaction. People message me like their crazy dating stories, and it's really awesome if you're on those apps. I know it's kind of like taboo to like be saying you're online dating. I feel like it's less now. But I have an entire album of just screenshots from Bumble and Tinder, and it's crazy the amount of people that message me like their stories, and it's crazy the amount of people who have never once commented on my album who now have albums saying like, I saw this girl post an album of her screenshots or whatever. I thought it'd be fun too. So just like weird things that guys say to me, I've started to message people and say Dean, Jess, or Logan from Gilmore Girls, and then post like their responses to that. And then people like comment on that too. So just other ways. Those obviously screenshots work versus people like saying how great of a coach you are. If you're not dating, then don't go on there. Talking to my niche. So I have all these different ways I've talked about that I post really deep, authentic things that sometimes connect to people that may not be like 20-somethings. But these are really like 20-something young professionals. The two posts on the left are me talking about the S Club 7 Pandora station, which is like the best station ever if you were born like 86 to 91. I'm 89, so I'm guessing 89 is great. But it's just like on the left you see I have a bell pepper. Like that's just honestly how I was standing at that moment. On the right I had Energized and I was listening to it, and this dance party happened. I wouldn't stage things. I wouldn't like make her Energized just to get in the picture, but I'm sure many of you have dance parties with Energized. You can post that. We all have dance parties, so it's like another thing, like what's personal is universal. People relate to that. But I had so many people message me and thank me for sharing about S Club 7 Pandora Station because now they listen to it too. So just another way that I'm forming on social media and being myself. And so when I message people, they feel like they already have that connection. On the right, this is my Saturday night. Because I love you, you idiot. If you're a Gilmore Girls fan, you know that scene. If you're not, then you're going to keep on scrolling. But so many people liked and commented and were having their own side conversations on my Gilmore Girls post. And then like 4 people like made friends with people, like my college friends made friends with like Orlando, with coaching friends, all on the post about how much they love Gilmore Girls. And 2 of them made like a Gilmore Girls fan club together just from this post. So a lot of engagement from this. And again, just connecting more people People basically know me as a Gilmore Girls fan, person on Tinder, Date, Bumble, and bell peppers. It's like my constant thing that I talk about. Which sounds weird, but I actually now have a lot of coaches who are on dating apps. A few of them now eat the bell peppers like that, and all of them are Gilmore Girls fans. So like you realize you're talking to like your niche. Just more of it on the left. 5 a.m. workout on the books. I think you realize it's time to shave once you feel like a bug is on your leg, but it's just your hair, that single life. I almost didn't post it because I was like, someone's going to get offended. I'm like, oh, well, someone's always offended. I just don't always shave because I'm single. Like, why bother taking the time to do that when I can do other things? So I shared that, and I had so many people message me. I get a lot of messages when it's something like that that's like more authentic than people wanting to comment and admit that they do it too. But then I added the Tony Horton stuff. So I was like talking about how I wasn't shaving my legs, but I also like dropped in Tony Horton. So it was like a perfect little mix. On the right, I pretty much cut out people immediately in the post, but I said, at work realizing I must document this moment for my other 20-something friends out there. So immediately I said 20-something. But I talked about how it was a last minute. I was thinking about flying to Philadelphia for my mom's birthday for $783. And I didn't book it because it wasn't sensible, but I could have. I could have booked it without charging a credit card. And it was because of coaching. Don't worry, the little like income disclaimer is below there. But that was huge for me. $800 I could have on the spot booked, no problem. Didn't have to worry about anything else. And I posted it and specifically said for my other 20-something friends out there, because I continue to see my friends post about how they have $100,000 in student loan debt, or they have to turn off the electricity for like 3 days, or they're like paying with a check to wait 3 days to get enough money in their account. Like I keep seeing these posts on my newsfeed, and I wanted my 20-something friends, I wanted to say it right off for them to know that this is possible, versus maybe if I hadn't said that, maybe they wouldn't have read the entire post. So another way that I'm talking directly to people in my age group. Stop overthinking. I often sometimes find myself sitting there being like, I can't think of the perfect post. Like, why am I freaking out? And then I realized, like, stop overthinking. Those moments that are not perfect are what people relate to. So on the left, this was in Fort Lauderdale right before the cruise, and I was trying to take the perfect selfie with the beach in the background, and I couldn't get it because my eyes would not open with the sun. We've all been there. There's not a single person on this call who tell me they can't be been there. And then I realized this is like perfect. We've all been there. So I take a picture when you try to take a really cool selfie with the beach in the background, but your eyes can't cooperate. And I had so many people comment, all the 400 plus likes, same amount of reaction on Facebook of people like dying. And then I saw all these people, other coaches post like the same thing the next day, which is fine. But you can tell like so many people relate to that. And it's just another way that people feel like they know you because you're posting the same things that they go through. On the right, note to self, close the lid before you shake. Please tell me I'm not the only one. So many comments of people saying like, oh my God, I do that all the time. Like totally feel you, get you, whatever. But you can see like nice long streak. But anytime you like spill something on yourself and before you clean it up, like you can take a picture of that, because I guarantee you if you did it, someone else did it too. The other day I was searching my entire apartment. Like literally this place looked like it wrecked havoc because I was looking for my phone that was in my hand. We've all done that too. So I took a picture of the fact that I was sitting in my freaking apartment like with stuff everywhere and said, I just threw apart my entire apartment looking for my phone and it's right here. Just like another example, we all have those things where we're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Those moments are things that everyone goes through. If you post about that, you're being really raw and authentic to yourself without having to be too deep. But people will relate to that. Polls. I try to post polls that are not related to fitness and nutrition and are really real polls for my life. I see a lot of polls from people that are like, which Shakeology flavor should I buy next? Like no one cares unless they're coaches. And you really want to connect with people on a different level than that. But polls do really well. So on the left, I had a date and I said, which way should I do my hair? And I honestly like didn't know. And I was like, couldn't decide. So I put it on Facebook. So 77 comments, and people were like replying to other people's comments. And then on the right, I need real-time advice. So I had talked earlier in this night about how I got stood up at a bar in Orlando for a date. And so then this guy texts me, and I'm like, I don't even know what to respond. Like, literally didn't know what to respond. So I posted on social media, real-time advice, let's go, people. And you can see the girl on the right tell him my mama don't like her, she likes everyone. And 29 people liked the post, like the same 5 minutes that people were commenting. So people are like going within the comments to respond to other people and responding A or B. And it was really like a lively post that night. And it was just a poll about like really I needed advice. I couldn't figure out which one to do. So I don't really try to make up polls. I think I used to try to do that, and it didn't get reaction because I was just trying to make up something that I really didn't need a poll about. And so now when I like sitting there and I can't decide, that's the poll I make. Like I'm sitting there and I'm like, which of these Netflix shows should I watch? Scandal, Revenge, whatever. Actually post that. But I'm not going to sit there and be like, what poll should I make up? Because those won't do well because they're not authentically what you're really thinking. These are really what I needed advice on and things I would have asked my best friend. That's what I always come back to. Like post something that you would have told your best friend or too embarrassed to tell your best friend. And trust me, I've never posted something like that I haven't gotten a flood of comments. And maybe you won't right away, but trust me, people are paying attention, and they'll come back to you that way. My last thing I want to talk about is coach opportunity posts. I still do the like looking for 10 people to join my team, but I often turn in these like before after challenge group kind of posts into a coach opportunity. And there was 104 likes on this on Facebook. And I think like 15 coaches joined my team from this one post. I'll just read it real quick. When I'm adding new coaches to my team, I usually pick a current picture of myself. My current self is happy, really, really, really freaking happy, loving life and absolutely loving herself. But it wasn't always like that. This picture was taken when I was visiting some of my very close friends in college. I was 45 pounds heavier than I am now, but I was depressed. I was incredibly anxious. I was sad. I was struggling with my eating disorder. I felt like I had no support in those areas, and it was hard. I'll be honest, I had a tough night last night. But even though it was tough, even though I ate a little more than I normally do, I was still happy. I was still loving my life. I had 20-something people texting me and checking in on me. Becoming a coach hasn't just helped me financially and physically, although both have been substantial. The support I have from my team is unmatched. When you join my team, you have an instant connection with a remarkable group of people. The support and team atmosphere is truly the best feeling in the world. I wouldn't be where I am today in any aspect if it wasn't for all of them. If you're interested in applying to join my team, we need to make sure we are both a good fit for each other. Please message me or simply like this post. There's never a perfect time to change your life, so why wait to feel better tomorrow when you wanted to feel better yesterday? And why are you smiling? That could have easily been just a challenge group post, but I turned it into what this team atmosphere does. Because honestly, the coaches that came from this post are some of my best coaches on my team, because they didn't come into it for the financial opportunity. And obviously that's great and it's huge. But if people come in just for money, most of us know, like they won't last that long unless they like go crazy and they sell on challenge packs. These are my best coaches because they came in for that team atmosphere and they came in for that community. But this easily could have been like, join my challenge group and you get the support. But I made this change about 5 months ago from posting more challenge group stuff to like really dripping in coaching and really being authentic and really being like myself on social media, as hard as it is to start. I really made that switch. And so that's what's hands down brought in much more coaches like me, and coaches that really want to like go for this and are willing to wait it out long term than before, and just had people really like wanting this and believing in this, etc. So that's all I have for my presentation. I don't know if you want to have any questions.
All right, guys. Oh my goodness, Caroline, thank you so much. I want to open it up to questions before I kind of always ask questions and blab or comments from our team. So Tamar asked, what triggered that switch for you? Like when you went for, when you made that switch to how you were posting.
So I listened back, sorry. So I listened to, and I will try to find it and send it to you, Stephanie. There was a call, and we all listen to those calls, national wake up calls or team calls, whatever it is. We stumble upon them on YouTube, and you're like, oh my God, I like have all these pages of notes. I'm going to make so many changes, and then we don't. We all do it. But I stumbled upon a call that Bonnie Engel did for, I think, a bombshell like team call or something. And the one thing I took out was where she said, I could post about challenge group things, but that's not what's the biggest thing that's changed my life. Coaching is the biggest thing that's changed my life. And when she said that, I hit pause and I stepped back and I was like, wow, like coaching is what's changed my life, not challenge groups. I mean, challenge groups are part of coaching, but the coaching atmosphere and everything with that has really changed me. So I took a step back and looked at how I was posting and realized I was posting really mainly to people joining challenge groups versus joining the coaching with the challenge group. And then I realized I wasn't being deep enough and sharing to get to the people that I want to join my team. If that makes sense.
Okay, awesome. I think there's a lot of things that you said that really kind of I wanted to just highlight, especially for our team and for those who will listen to the recording. But I really love that you said, I really kind of look at what I'm, you kind of think like, what am I most embarrassed about? What don't I want to admit? And you post to that. I think, I challenge, all of you guys on here. Some of you do, you are, but the majority are not really raw and authentic on social media. Obviously that takes a certain level of just vulnerability, and courage to be raw like that. But when I was hearing your story, Caroline, I got a little, I don't know, I felt a little emotional, not because, I was sad, but more so because I know that you are speaking to people who need to hear your story. And I think that in itself made me feel so good for you and so like proud of what you're doing. And I hope that it inspires others to realize that there are people out there who can relate to all the struggles that you have gone through. All of the downers and the up, all is not everything is all, the highlight reel of what a lot of coaches try to make their social media. And I just imagine, just the Gilmore, all the things that are unique and authentic to you, the Gilmore Girls and, you constantly smiling and the dating scene, like that's going to speak to a certain number of people. And honestly, that's what I love about coaching, and how each of us have unique traits and unique quirks and unique things that we can offer to people. And that's why I never feel like I'm in competition with other coaches in a sense, because we're all speaking to different people when we are who we are. And I really want to thank you for sharing who you are on social media, because I know the people that you're affecting, the people that I would not even reach, that I know coaches on this call would not even reach, because we just have a different story and we have a different, we're just kind of talking to different people. Let's see, Sarah here says, so informative. I love it. As someone who is often referred to as not everyone's cup of tea, I dig the way you decided to be authentic. You have taken who you are and turned it into a marketable asset. And then Sophie says, do you typically sign all challenge packs as coach signups, even if it's just for discount?
I ask people, I basically say to them in some kind of words, do you want to sign up as a preferred customer or as a if they don't want to do coaching, I say, do you want to sign up as a preferred customer or just a customer? And I explain that it's really easier for them because they can always cancel. I send them the online form that now is available, and I'm like, look, this is this easy to cancel on the 29th day, but like, let's say you decide you want to order something else while you're doing the challenge, it's 25% off. It's easier for you to make the transition to the discount the second month. If you wanted to continue, you're just sign right on. I talk about like I add all discount coaches to my team page. because I have a personally sponsored group too. So, and then my leaders have their pages. So it's not that overwhelming, but they get like an immediate coach impact. And usually people want to sign up because of the discount and the ease. And then they see that the online form is so easy to fill out if they wanted to cancel. So typically, but if someone's like, I just want to sign up as a customer, I'm like, that's no problem. I think in 2016, I would say like 85% of people who get challenge packs have signed up as coaches. And very rarely have they quit.
Awesome. I guess one question I have for you, Caroline, is what do you tell your newer coaches who maybe, or kind of what advice do you give when they are nervous to put themselves out there? Kind of how do you try to just not convince them, but really help them see that their story can change lives, and because I'm sure not everyone is willing to share all the struggles and all the raw things.
Yeah, so we start, I guess you could say, and I can send it to you, Stephanie. I have like kind of a coach basics, a more like posting guide or whatever of just things to start with, that will get a little bit deep, but not like too deep. And my newer coaches say that it like really helps them. I have a lot of like coaches after they complete that coach basics want to repeat it because it really helps them post. So things that like help them like start sharing, but not too much. I never recommend blocking people from statuses. I have missed a lot of people that are now coaches who I thought would never in a million years want to hear from me. But I always tell my coaches that if it's like literally you're not going to post, or you want to block like your 10 friends you don't think are interested, then I always say like block those people and then share very openly. But I just stress so much that like I have so many sorority sisters that I thought would never want to hear from me that I blocked, who are now all coaches with another sorority sister. But I just have them start posting just smaller things to get used to it. And then we talk more, probably like 10 days in to 2 weeks in, about posting like slower, more deeper stuff. It's obviously all comfort level. But I just stress how important it is. And people slowly have gotten there. I have a lot of coaches that signed up in January 2016 who this month have really started posting like the deep stuff. Last month got a medium deep, the month before, you know what I mean? So this just gets more comfortable.
Awesome. Well, I have one more thing just to say, and then I'll let you guys go. But I think, one thing that I thought was also just really key to highlight is that you said, you share your struggles, but you always twist it in a positive way. And I think that's incredibly important for coaches to understand, is that it's perfectly fine to share your struggles, but you have to twist it in a way to make it positive, to just kind of end it in a positive note, whether it's a positive lesson, whether it's some way to maybe share your struggles so that it helps someone else, but not only just sharing struggle, and then your news feed is like struggle, because people will also, catch on to that. And they'll also be like, well, this girl's always struggling. I'm not gonna, kind of the cry wolf. I call it now the cry wolf coach, the one that's always like, oh, I've gotten knocked down again, or, oh, I came off, I gotten off track again, or, oh, this and that. And then it's just like constant of just sharing their struggles, but not putting the positive twist on it. So I think that's important. Anyway, all right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Caroline. And I know that my team really enjoyed it. And thank you so much. And I hope that we can combine our busy schedules so that we can meet up here in Orlando. I know we'll come up with something.
And then tomorrow, if you send me your Facebook Messenger, I'll point and then the posting stuff I talked about.
Awesome. All right. And I'll pass that along to my girls, to the team. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night, and we'll see you next week. Bye.